G'day guys, Scott from Fat Trader here. Just want to bring you a quick update on this trade. Looks like we're going to hit our profit target. It's actually hit the daily pivot. Now, what I'm looking for here, and I don't know if it's one of those things you sort of need to be a bit careful of. I'm at my target, so technically I could close this trade now, and I'm within a couple of points of it, so I could basically close it and be happy, in my own mind. Now what you've got to be careful of is obviously your trade reversing and going against you at this point, or typically what we actually are more likely to see in this instance is what we call a stop run exit. Now I've got my trade here just a bit before 125, but what I could actually do if I didn't have a longer term view on this trade, which is short bias, I would probably move my stop actually to like 125.09 or something like that, because what and we'd pick up an extra $700 basically, because what we find actually happens is above these levels here, where there's been quite a lot of support, you'll actually get this kind of run. It can be 10 points, it can be 20 points. But this is kind of like the stop run zone, if that makes sense. Let's change this to a different color so we can sort of see same color really. So that's kind of the zone, and we'll come back and check that out in a minute and see what actually transpires, but most likely that will transpire. I'm being a little bit scared at the moment, so I'm trading a little bit nervously, which is always a good idea, I think. And looks like I'm probably going to get taken out now, actually, off the back of this news when it comes out. But I will be looking, if it does do a stop run exit, I'm actually going to look to enter short up at this level here. So I do want to enter short around the 125 level, but if I can use other people's stops as an entry or liquidity for my entry, that's exactly how the banks trade. So that's what you want to be. That's what you want to be looking to do at these levels, if that makes sense. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come back in a few moments. This is just playing around at the minute. Although it's fairly overdone. Actually, we'll just talk about the other part of this setup here, which I missed during the day because I was doing other things. This is my sort of what I would call a Class A or a Class 1 setup. It's basically where you've got three key things. I've talked about this over and over again, and it's one of the most simple and it's one of the most profitable strategies in the Forex market, and any market in fact. Finding a level of support and resistance. Okay, finding an edge, basically taking a trade against that edge where you have three things: a very good level of support and resistance to place your trade against, and potentially to place a stop underneath. A good target, so at least on these type of opportunities you want a 2-to-1 to 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, and ideally you want to see the daily pivot above or below that. Like in this case, obviously the support line's down here, the daily pivot's above, so we're taking a long trade. Now technically at any stage, once I saw this 1, 2, 3 effect, I could have actually taken a long trade, and as you see, it would have been pretty profitable, and they generally are. 43 points it would have been up so far. Had I taken it at this level, had I even seen it, I wasn't even in front of the computer at that stage, so you snooze you lose, as we say in Forex. That's pretty much it, but yeah, I wanted to bring your attention to that setup there. I'll highlight that. That is like a Class A. In fact, it's probably back a little bit further. It's like a Class A setup. Bang, bang, bang. Then obviously moving up. Are we going to get taken out? Come on. This is just thinking about it. The suspense is killing me. Not by the look of it. So, a couple of thoughts there, guys. One is the Class A setup. The other is what I'm thinking about doing to get into my short trade. We'll come back in a minute and talk a bit more about that. Okay, so it looks like we're about to get our stop run any second now. Some people call this a, oh goodness me, don't you hate it when Camtasia pops up in front of you. So some people call this the snake run, or the snake up, or the leg up, or the stop run, or the flag. There's a number of different names for it, but I just call it the stop run exit because that's basically what's happening. I mean, people are getting their positions forced at the edge of the market. Now, why I think this is the edge of the market? A, it's a round number. B, if you have a look up here, there is actually another nice little, like, 1, 2, 3 right there, test, and hence that plays beautifully into, oops, I've done that a bit wide. That plays beautifully into the stop zone. So what is going on? It's funny, I'm not getting taken out. What is happening with this trade? That's very odd. It's well, what do you do? Obviously it hasn't clicked up there enough yet. Anyway, long story short, we will come back and, like, when this actually happens, and like I said, we're looking to enter into a short position up in this zone here, and you know, we can call this, and I'm looking to actually enter it and trade it back down to here, and that's a longer term swing trade, if that makes sense. And this is just playing around now, so we'll come back in a few minutes and see what happens. Righto guys, so basically this is sort of just messing about at the moment. There is a whole lot of news coming up in a few moments. I have to go out, so I may actually be closing this pretty soon, but I am going to set alerts to make sure that if price gets up to this level, I'm going to get in short. And we'll come back to this video a little bit later and actually follow up and show you how we got in. Okay guys, so just to bring you a bit of an update on what's taken place. Obviously I've come back out. I closed this one for a total of 20. I actually then took what I believed was a short and somehow ended up buying the euro US dollar because I was doing it from my phone, go figure, and it was obviously increasing in profit. I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but when I actually saw that it was a buy, I closed it immediately because obviously it's against my position, or against my longer term idea now that the pivot has been hit. So once it had increased a bit in price, just so you know, I have actually sold it, a half size position. Currently I'm sitting at a loss of 10 points, where you can see where the green line is there. It's sort of been all over the place, but end of the day, there's a lot of news out today, a lot of funkiness. So as a result of being able to get a better price in 125.20, I'll probably actually look to move my stop possibly even up to 125.70 on this trade, and I'll be looking to close this down at 124 look, let's make it 124.50, just so we've got a nice even sort of number, if that makes sense. So down at this level, and stops will be up around, I would say at this point they'll be up, actually up around, look, this, they're probably going to have to go above this high here, honestly, which is up around the 125.76 level. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I'm thinking. So like I said, we've got into the short trade. Obviously, yeah, the first one was actually a buy, and I got out of that as soon as I realised what I'd done. It was lucky that it was a profit. I think it was about $500 profit, but because it was a half-size position, it's 250 position. But now we're actually short in the correct position. So hope that all makes sense, guys. If you've got any questions, you can contact me at Twitter, or you can reach me at fatbtrade.com. Till next time, trade well.